All right, what's going on, guys? My name is Zach Schiefer, and last year I helped my clients add a combined $20 million from email and SMS. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 6 proven email marketing tactics for 2025 that will massively scale your e-com store, and you'll get way better results with email marketing with these 6 things. Let's dive into it. So, number 1, full screen website pop-up forms. List growth absolutely needs to be a priority for you because more people on your email list equals more sales. It's as simple as that. And one of the absolute number 1 best ways to grow your email list is with pop-up forms on your website. This is a massive revenue driver because, again, if you make this convert as high as possible, that means that as many people as possible are going to get onto your list, which means you're going to make as much money as possible. And so the big bottleneck here that I see a lot of brands absolutely mess up. But your regular pop-up form with a tiny little rectangle might be working, but I guarantee that you'll get better results using full screen pop-up forms. Yes, they're going to be a little bit more invasive. However, they're going to outperform your regular one most likely because they're grabbing attention better and they're not showing the website in the background, and they really focus the user on your offer, which increases the chance that they actually sign up. The issue is, if you even do this, you can't just show it at the start. You can't be annoying about it. You have to show it at the right time. And you have to split test a lot of these variables to actually find like what is the combination of settings that's actually going to convert the best without annoying the people that come on your site. So we're not saying just show this immediately. There is a scientific process that we look at in order to find out what is the best way to have that pop-up show up and when does it actually make sense. Some other tips here to keep in mind when setting up this form. You want to make sure there's a visible X button in the top right corner so that users can exit the pop-up if needed. You don't want to annoy people. You want to give them clearly an option if they want to hit this button here that says I'm not interested, or if they want to hit that X in the corner. We like to include both of those. But just notice here like how good the copy is. Like, it's very simple. It's not like amazing copy, but it's so in your face. And you can see here, there's one action that they're clearly like wanting you to take, which is hitting that yes, I'm in button. It stands out against the background. It's super, super obvious. I see so many brands that they hide the button or they put a ton of extra copy. This is super lean, super simple. And there's one singular action that they're trying to get you to take. And they're very much incentivizing that certain action. Couple other settings here. You don't want to allow users to click outside the pop-up form to close it. That's just a setting that you can make sure is off. And then desktop and mobile devices, you want to optimize for both there. And you want to make sure your pop-up looks great on either. If you're using Klaviyo for these pop-up forms, you need to have separate forms. You need to have separate behavior for each pop-up. All right, number 2 here, proper email list segmentation. I see so many brands make this mistake, which is blasting every single person in your database for every single email. It's going to destroy your deliverability. So instead, what you need to do is you need to segment your list and send highly relevant and personalized messages to different groups within your list. So this is going to allow you to get higher open rates, lower unsubscribes, better engagement, better conversion rates, overall just a better customer experience because people that are uninterested are just not going to get emails, and you can segment out people who are engaged versus not engaged. You're going to get better sender reputation, better deliverability, and overall, you're going to get a better ROI on your email marketing efforts. So when it comes to actually segmenting your list, there's typically one main list that we're sending 90% of emails to, and that is our engaged list. So it's going to vary, but generally we're doing something like a 30, 60, 90, or 180 day engaged. So if a person has opened or clicked an email in the last X number of days, you put them into that 30-day engaged list or that 60-day engaged list. So that's our main segment. We send almost every single email to that engaged list, and we can dial it up and down, and we can get more engaged people or less engaged people by tweaking that number. That way we can control what our open rates are, and we can control what our engagement level is. And so if you want to go down to 30-day engaged, that's going to be more engaged people. If you want to dial it up and you go all the way to 180-day engaged, that's going to be still people who are engaged, but they're less engaged. So you can play around with that and find the optimal open and click rates based on those, who you're sending to. So outside of that engaged segment, there's a few different other types of segments that we like to look at. These are just a few. but things like geographic location, so you can target people who are in a specific state or country or region, time zone, etc. Klaviyo is great with this. You can pretty much segment by anything that you could possibly think of as long as you have a data point for it. Number two here, this is a big one, purchase history. So people who haven't purchased before, you want to treat those differently than people who have purchased before versus your VIPs who have purchased multiple times. So you want to treat these people differently if you are going to be segmenting for purchase history. Number three, people who clicked but didn't buy. So you can look at retargeting a certain email and you could handle objections that would cause a person to be interested in the product but not make a purchase. So you want to think about, hey, in their shoes, why would I be interested in this product, but what would cause me to not make that purchase? Maybe it's about free shipping, or maybe it's something about the quality or your warranty, or maybe they don't know, will this work for me? Will this work for XYZ? Is this a good gift? There's a lot of different things that you can really play around with in terms of clicking an email but not making a purchase. And then finally here, resending to non-openers. You want to do this very sparingly, but this allows you to give people a chance to get their eyes on your biggest offers of the year. So that could be Black Friday, Cyber Monday, things like that. If you have a really big promotion, I honestly only do this a couple times a year max. It's not really great for deliverability if you're sending an email to a very unengaged audience. So people who didn't even open the first email. However, if you want to get that maximum reach, it's something that, again, you can use sparingly, and then you can bring your deliverability up on the back end. All right, longer email flows. I see so many brands nowadays that just have very short email flows and they're making a ton of revenue from 2 emails. And so it's very simple, make your email flows longer. These flows are great because they're really just systematically moving people along the customer journey and they're bringing in revenue on autopilot. So I highly recommend adding more touch points, just looking at, hey, where are your most important flows? Where is revenue coming in? And is there opportunity for us to add touch points within there? These flows are typically bringing in 12 to 20% of your brand's overall revenue when they're properly set up and optimized. We typically set up anywhere from 8 to 15 different flows, just depending on the brand. And it's massively important because since they could be sending out hundreds of thousands of times per month, depending on your traffic there. So it's important that these messages are as optimized as possible. And so a lot of times what we see is that clients come in and their flows are doing okay, but they're only at 1, 2, maybe 3 emails. And we go in there and we just simply add more touch points and we simplify the messages within each email. So instead of 3 emails about 8 different topics, we'll have 8 emails on 8 different topics, and 1 email is 1 different topic. That way you can get better conversions and you're driving people towards one singular place per email. Very important. One note here is that when you're comparing 2 flows and you're comparing, hey, this flow A, which is the shorter one, versus flow B, the longer one, you really want to look at revenue per flow entrance. So that's how much revenue the flow produced during a certain time period over how many people actually entered into that flow, not revenue per recipient. I could make a whole video on this, but if you just look at Klaviyo's revenue per recipient, it's really going to be low on these longer flows because how it works is these top, your first, second, third emails within your flow, it's going to bring in majority of the revenue. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, those emails are going to bring in less revenue compared to the first 3. However, your overall revenue from the flow is going to increase. These 4 through 10 or 4 through 8 emails are going to continually add incremental revenue. As I said here, keep each email focused on one singular topic instead of trying to cram 12 different CTAs or 3 different CTAs all into one email. Number 4 here, micro yes strategy within your pop-up. So we already talked about how effective and how important pop-ups are in growing your email list. However, this strategy, which you'll see on screen here in a second, is called the micro yes question. So this is very simple. It's a yes, no question. And it simply asks, hey, are you interested in XYZ offer? Or like we saw with Mr. Beast up here, what did he say? Mr. Beast wants you to join the crew. Yes, I'm in. It's just a very simple yes, no. It's a button that you click. Then you go ahead and give your email. Basically, the way that this works is by adding a button, which you would think would add friction and would lower conversion rates. But what we found in 95% of cases is that this actually increases conversions. Once people click yes, they're like, oh, okay, I might as well give my information. I've gone this far. It's a psychological micro commitment. You got them to say yes to something easy. Then you ask them a no-brainer question. Hey, do you want to save more money here? Yes or no? Builds momentum and assures that they're pretty much in the habit of already saying yes. And so that makes giving their email and phone number that much easier. One kind of pro tip here on the phone number is testing out different ways of framing why you need that phone number. For example, you could say, finish your sign up. That's a great one that we always start with so that people think, hey, in order to actually get this discount, need to give them my SMS phone number. You can also give extra discounts. You can say, hey, join the VIP list. Here's all the exclusive things that you get from the VIP list. And here's why you want to give your phone number. You can do it that way as well. But it's definitely something to split test. And we've seen massive just conversion rates increase from just testing out different ways of asking for that phone number. All right, number 5 here. Optimize your footers for better deliverability and better sales. So pretty much how we do our footers is we have the logo here, and then this is actual live HTML text. I honestly don't think it really matters that much, but in case it does, we do have legitimate live HTML text. It's the HTML text block, and then the rest of the email is images, but this right here is actual HTML text. And we want to make sure we're adding alt text as well to all of these images. But we like to hear if someone's scrolled through the entire email, we want to give them options, pretty much the top 3 options that are on their website. So it could be shop all, shop categories, shop men, shop women, whatever is on your website. In this case, it was shop brands, coffee, and tea. Those are their top 3 categories. Just put that as buttons in the footer here. These actually get a lot of clicks. I'm not going to lie, and they're going to help increase your click rate. And then we just put the information about the brand, all this important stuff that you have to have when you're sending emails, and then the manage preferences and unsubscribe button right there. You definitely do not want to hide that unsubscribe button. You want to make it pretty clear, pretty obvious exactly where it's at, or else people are going to mark it as spam. You'd rather instead have them unsubscribe. That's not going to hurt your deliverability. You getting marked as spam absolutely will. And then just make sure your background colors look good in both light and dark mode. As you can see here, everything above here is going to be an image, so it's going to be fine in dark mode. And then everything down here, this is like a big HTML section. So these are all transparent PNGs. All right. Number 6 here, the right mix of sales versus value-based email campaigns. We really want to be sending a good amount of email campaigns, anywhere from 3 to 7 times per week. Our biggest brands are sending every single day, not to the entire list 7 times per week, but we're focusing on those absolute most engaged people, and we're sending it very consistently, and it does extremely well. If you're more of a smaller brand, something like 2 or 3 emails per week is a good cadence. And then the way I look at it is, hey, like your campaigns are going to bring in a certain amount of money. If sending more makes you more money overall, do that, and then do that more. So it's very simple. You just look at the math and you break it down. I have a whole video on the right number of campaigns to send per week based on how much they're actually bringing in. You can go check that out. So a mistake that I see all the time is that e-com brands, they simply think of email marketing as a channel to distribute sales. All they're doing is saying, hey, here's this limited time offer. Here's this new product launch. Here's this product restock. People get tired of that. People only open your emails if they're looking for a discount. So instead, what you can do is send more value-based emails to your list. This is going to allow you to promote your products, but not in a salesy manner. So these are emails that people would legitimately want to send to a friend. So think about an Instagram post that you would send to your friend. Why do you do that? It's funny, it's interesting, it tells a story, it tells something about the brand, it's a behind the scenes look, it's something that it might be a recipe if you're a food-based brand that worked really well. We had an Italian grocery store brand that we worked really well when we were sending people recipes and things like that. Anything that's not just like sales, because people are just going to come to the emails looking for a sale. And when you don't give a sale, you're not going to make any revenue. It could be a checklist. It could be a deep dive on one of your products and how to use it. It could be a product highlight, ingredient highlight, and it could be solving objections, talking about FAQs, linking to Instagrams, telling people to go follow you there or YouTube or whatever it is. And then once you have this good base and once you have great engagement on these less sales-based emails, then once you do send these sales-based emails, you're going to get a great result there. Just like Goldilocks, you have to find that sweet spot. Usually 20 to 25% of your emails can be more sales heavy, and the rest we fill in with more value-based emails. Again, Goldilocks zone there. You want to find out what actually works for your brand. So again, the value-based emails really give that layup to the sales-based campaigns. All right, so that is the video. That is the 6 proven email marketing tactics that you need in 2025. If you're running a D2C brand and you want help increasing your monthly revenue, check out our website. It's zhs-ecom.com. Click the first link in the video description if you want to learn more about ecom email marketing. I recommend this video on screen that I posted a while back, which helped our clients add over $20 million from these 2 channels last year. So appreciate your time.